Here we go again, second time this week. Okay, we're on the Scotland after party. I raced earlier this week with 220 odd riders, absolute chaos. Did an amazing time. Uh, got an average over 20 minutes of 272 watts, which is a massive improvement for me. And I wanted to go one better. I've been doing all of these unlocked courses, trying to do two a week. So one actually racing, but a bit of a recon at speed. So no messing about. A smaller group, obviously, 41. This is a lunchtime. Perfect for work lunchtime, by the way, because it's a 21-minute race. You can get showered and you're back for work for the afternoon. And you're absolutely uh, you're buzzing as well, so it gives you real motivation to get back to work. So 41 in this group. I finished 34 out of 223 during the week, and I wanted a top 10 finish with under 50 riders. You can't get away because it's so competitive. This is the 330 to 450. It is so competitive. So, you do get a few attacks here, but you just can't get away because everybody's so evenly matched. I've said that before. Certainly in the categories I'm racing, the lower ones, I don't know what it's like at the advanced A plus level. One day I hope to. But for now, the aim, top 10 finish and to increase my FTP. Over the last 3 months now, I've gone from 240 FTP to 268 at the start of this race. My aim is 275 by the close of this year. Right, back to this race. So 302 average, top left, 15th gear. That's my go-to. Racing earlier this week, 15th gear, stood up on the little climbs. There's 4 of these repeat circuits around the Glasgow Crit race circuit. It repeats itself 4 times. You can see the graphic top right. Got to use your power-ups. I think there's a draft power-up. You can see I've got that at the moment, or it's the feather. I do prefer the feather, but I guess use the draft power-up after the climb just to sit in and get a bit extra draft so you can recover before the next return climb. And then you've got this nasty, nasty climb at the end. It's an absolute killer. It just goes on, and it just breaks the group. And the cream rise to the top. I find it so difficult. I started the climb in the top 5 with 223 racers, ended up 35th. Just better racers, climbers than I was. I've realised you need to be pushing 500 watts. Look at the top left, just going over 500 watts on these orange sections. That was my objective. That'll keep you at the front in this category. 181 calories burnt, 304 average still. There's 2 of these little leg snappers, and then you have a nice flat for perhaps half a mile, and then you repeat again. Here we go, just keeping at the front very comfortably. You can actually see me today. I didn't realise there's no light in the shed earlier this week. Bit embarrassing. It's just a blackout of the screen, so pointless recording myself. But here we go. So up at 500 watts, there you go, top left. The orange section just under 5%. That keeps you at the front. I'm just going to keep at the front, do a bit of drafting, but look, there's only 7.5 miles to go. Yeah, you can sit right in the middle of the pack, but at the end of the day, it's all about heart, that final climb. You can reserve energy all you want, but it's who's got it and who's got the courage really to put it in on the 10% part of that and go for, I think it's about a mile, that final climb continually. It's who can just, ride hard. I'm sure if you reserve, you can be really, really tactical and reserve a lot of energy, but it's in the head. It's not in the legs by that point. Everybody's going to be tired. It's who's got it to take it to the line. I am just using the draft here to conserve a little energy. Having said that, on this flat bit, this is the flat bit between the little kickers. So what, less between 200 and 250. 288 average, 287, 15th gear again. So there's no changing of gears here. You're either standing up or sat down, and that suits me for my pace fine. I suspect even if I do break my FTP, the time will be slower for this group, literally because there's a fifth the number of competitors. That group of 200, that big bubble, we were absolutely flying along, and I think we did a final time of about 21.5 minutes, or I did a final time. I think people were going over the line at about 21 minutes, which if you follow higher groups, higher ZRS groups, even up to the late 500s, I noticed that there were not many groups finishing quicker than that, and it's purely because there was a big bubbly draft and you could sit right in the middle and cruise along at 25-30 miles an hour. So here we go, 6.5 miles to go. We've done 134 feet. What is it, 650 I think, 640 odd for this race. I've not fast forwarded any of this video because, you know, it is exciting, or I think it's exciting. Really tactical, as in you've got to keep concentration. There was no one flying off the front here, no one going for an attack, but the pace was pretty quick. Not as quick as in the week, 276 average top left. So to increase my FTP, I'd reckoned for the 20 minutes I need to be doing about 280 to take my FTP up. Here we go. So we come around this left-hander here, and you've got a kicker, just a bit less than 5%, and I need to be doing about 500 watts up here just to keep position, just standing up, not taking me time. You know, that's a big effort, 544 watts top left, but I'm doing it within, I'm containing myself, and I have a plan. So yeah, I could be sat right in the draft going up there, but you know, what are the games? Someone's just gone off the front there. This is a classic where I just forget to keep the momentum over the brow of the hill. They go into the descent and I just get spat out of the back of the top 10 riders. So just keeping concentration here. No one's going anywhere here. We know there's a right-hander coming up, the orange 5%er here. I'm perfectly placed here, in a good position. I'm feeling a good draft. Here we go. Get to the top there. Keep it at 500. I'm pretty much doing this by feel. I wasn't looking, just dropping below there. But I'm at the front, so it doesn't matter. And that says, as I was feeling how I was kind of understanding my body for the ride, even though I was just less than 500 watts, it was good enough to be in the front 5 going over the brow. We have a bit of a descent here, and we repeat. You see the top, look, the group has started to split. No one's really been dropped. I'm sure the bubble will close again before the next climb, but that was a good sign because other people are struggling, which I don't wish that on anybody, but this is a race, so made me feel pretty confident. I'm not going to give anything away on the final positions. You can pause it at the when it gives the final scores, but there are a couple of strong riders in here, and the Watabe, I think, yeah, you can't quite see him on the screen here, but I think he's a very powerful. Oh, Watanabe there, the Japanese rider. You'll see, very powerful rider, much stronger than me. So here we go. We're coming up to that third repeat. Just flying around this crit circuit. 5 miles to go. 228 feet done. 10 minutes elapsed just now. I'm using the drafting boost here, taking a bit of liquid to hydrate, the usual Barocca psychological boost, hydrating on the flat, and then I'm in a position to power up these little climbs. Meanwhile, I am preparing myself for that final climb. I'm well aware of the timing. After the fourth repeat of this, there's a dip, bit of a break. You can consolidate, just have a think. But I'm ready for that. All eyes are on that final climb, that final mile. And I was really ready to do this. Motivated. It's about 9 degrees in the UK, Celsius. So pretty perfect. Cold before you warm up and it's perfect temperature. So that's a big advantage. I've been talking about that. Really struggled over the summer, even with a fan. You know, when it's 30 degrees, it's just pushing around the hot air. So it's not really cooling you down. This temperature for me is absolutely perfect. 4.4 miles to go to the finish, 11.5 minutes almost done, 246 feet. We're coming round these bends quickly again. Here we go. Top graphic. If I can punch out another 500, that's the tactic. Get to the top, go over the top in the group, have a bit of a break, rehydrate. 270 average. So 271 average. 272. That's going up here. Over 530 watts is required to keep me at the front. I've not used the feather. Not sure why I didn't use the feather there. Perhaps I was thinking of saving it for that second orange descent here. Two little tiny brows to go over. The group again, it's just stretched out again. I'm sat at the front there, just stretched out again, but it's coming together. There has been, I think, a couple of people dropped there. You can see from the top graphic, and a few people dropped at the start. So let's say there's 30 going into this final repeat on the Glasgow circuit. Up we go, 530 plus. Really pleased. I'm massively improving to be able to do that. For me, it's probably 100 watts down on little climbs like that if we go back 3 months. Seem to have the power and the energy, and I'm able to sustain it now. That's crucial. Someone's gone off there, but they'll be reined in, I'm sure. Second place there. Yeah, the Norwegian's gone off. Still doing 4 watts a kilo on the flat. But we've got a group of, what, 25 to 30. All drafting. We'll easily catch that front rider, just reining back in. .274 average. This is moving at a pace here, and I'm having to do, well, basically it's probably very similar to the race earlier this week, but I'm having to do more work as there's not a huge group of 200 riders. So you can get a bit of draft, but you're not right in the middle completely, you know, saving 100, 150 watts. And look, we're reined in that front rider there. The pace seemed to be picking up. I'm in the draft, but we're doing 270 watts. I'm in 16th gear. I'm not sure when that happened, actually. 3 miles to go. Either way, that's weird. 16th gear, I must have had to use that to stay in the pack, which is saying that the pace has started to quicken. We're doing over 300 watts here going through the barrier. I'm at the front, but I was comfortable. And my head was ready for this last climb, 2.8 miles to go. One more lap of this circuit. Yeah, the bubble has come together. Top right graphic. Everybody they're all using the draft, but I've got a feather. There's no point using the feather really. And I didn't feel I needed it. 273 average, 364 calories, 365. Just rolling round here, keeping position. I think everybody's thinking, just get through this little city climb again, and then we go out to the mountain for that final climb. Got right at the front here. I didn't want anyone to start rushing and attacking on here because I just didn't want to be left behind. You can see they're going up there with the climb. I've got the feather on. Everybody's got the feather on. 568 watts, 7.3. I'm having to put a huge effort in there. I'm at the front though. Yeah, just as planned. Just move to the centre and let them come through so I'm getting the draft. 2.2 miles to go. Nearly 7 miles completed. Yeah, don't slow down on these little peaks, these little bumps. And then with one more orange to go, which probably leave us 2 miles to go. Here we are, we're down to 2 miles. Really motivated here, coming up to this last climb. There's no way I'm getting dropped here. What are we having to put? I'm in 16th gear, 581, 561, and they're pushing through. You can see some have got the feather. Fair play, they've got an advantage. So I need to keep this pace going over. There we go, through the barrier. Right, get in position. Yeah, happy with that. Get in position on this descent. 1.8 miles to go. Now, it will quicken up here. I don't think they've attacked there. Just looking at the numbers on the right. Watanabe's putting 4 down, 4 watts a kilo. Yeah, it has quickened up here. They've got the draft power up, but I'm happy there. I can still keep in touch. 275 average. I've done a lot more work than midweek. Not sure about the time. We'll see about that at the end. Just got into the group there without a power up. Yeah, take a swig before we go up this. You can see we're coming out now into the misty mountains. I've got a feather ready. I don't want to use it early on. That'd be foolish. I'll need it 3/4 the way up if I'm feeling like I'm getting dropped. Top 10 I'm aiming for. Top 25%. Do you know, I wanted to start the climb in the front 1 or 2. I was feeling that good and that positive. 1.1 mile to go. It's just around the corner here. And I think there's a little marker where the KOM starts. It was actually very excited here. I was feeling a bit apprehensive, anticipating the corner here. Here it is. You take a left here and you're off the cobbles, you're onto the, well, it's not tarmac, is it? Gravel path. Here we go. So I'm sat at the front, 0.9 to go. We're going up to 3%. I guess it's just less than 5, perhaps the orange. Tactics: stand up on the orange, sit down hard on the yellow, have a breather on the blue, and the red, just go for it hard, stood up. If we get to that point, I'm in the top 3 here. You can see below the top 7 on the right, and the graphic, people are getting dropped already. There's no way I was getting dropped. Somebody's used the feather. I didn't need to use my feather. I'm 3rd. Great position. Stand up on the orange. Need to be doing more for like 500 watts here. Not quite reaching that. 455. Okay, I'm still in contention, but I need to get on the wheel of 2nd place. Go over to the blue. Can have a little breather. I'm sure everyone else is thinking the same. We are dropping the rest of the group there 4 or 5 seconds. I think during the race that really gave me confidence, because I thought top 10 here, just keep going. I took too much of a breather there. Stupid mistake, complacency. Stand up here over this little cheeky 10%er. Well, gone up to 13, blimey. Just get over. I'm still in third. Ish. It gets steep here. You can see there's a red bit. Half a mile to go. Very exciting. 0.4 of a mile to go. Stay in contention. Have a breather on the blue. We're going orange again. Then it's going to go red. And then there's no brakes to the top. With Tanabe there. Blimey, 5.6. I'm going 6 watts a kilo here. They're using the feather. I've put the feather on myself. Good time to use it, actually. Can I get into contention? It's getting really exciting here. I'm in the top 3 here. I'm way out of my comfort zone. 281 watt average, top left. Best I've ever done. I'm in second place. Struggling like mad, as you can see on the left. 2 big climbs to go. Still got the feather going. Get up this 4.8%. I'm in second place. I'm going to get a top 5 here. Absolutely no doubt. I'm chasing. 400 watts. Honestly, I was doing everything there. I've never done 20 minutes at 282 watts. Nowhere near. My record was 272. I haven't got a heart rate on, but you can see I'm putting it in. 1 more orange to go. I'm 1 second ahead. I'm going for a second place here. Come on. 478 calories done. 282 average. Blooming heck. The Scot and the Norwegian have just come past me. Come on, stand up and try and catch them. We're both doing 5, or they're doing 6 watts a kilo. I'm trying to get 430 watts, 440 watts, 430 watts. Come on. I'm trying my best. Get over that. I can't catch them. They through. Absolutely delighted with that. Look, I can't give any more. 4th place. I reckon I've done beat my FTP here. 282, 3.8 watts a kilo. Never done anything like that. Remember, I'm aiming for 275 watts on average FTP for December. Come on, I reckon I've at least got a watt increase here on FTP. I'm 268 currently. It doesn't look like it. What's I must have? Close it. It'll come up in a minute when I can actually close the program. 20 minutes, 282. You can see on the right, that's the best. Blimey, I've done quite a few records there. If you pause them, I'll look at those afterwards. There you go, 272 watts. Flipping heck. Honestly, I'm absolutely delighted with that. Absolutely delighted with that. I'm going to be back midweek to try and get this 275 wrapped up way before December. And then let's put a higher target on that. If you enjoyed that, like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.